We've got Val, Beth, Angie, Dave, Dennis, and Pete Mezzo all on Zoom today. So it's a big Zoom meeting. Yeah.
Dennis is right here.
Your wife's on? Oh, okay. Eleanor. I was gonna say, you always show up as Eleanor though, so I don't know. So both of you are on right now. Yeah. All right, great.
She's keeping track of it.
So agenda as always, got a different program today. Unfortunately, our speaker, they had to cancel last minute. So we've got a video that you guys can all catch on YouTube if you have to run out today. But we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. No Bob online to start us off, so I'll do it for us. We'll go with Pledge Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful. We'll stay up for the four-way test. First, is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And will it hurt anyone? All right, go ahead and sit down. All right, so today we've got a Rotary Minute. John, so John, if you'd be able to come up and share your Rotary Minute for the camera here.
It is only a minute. Only a minute. Only a minute. We'll make it short.
John, if you can come to this side of the TV, then people online will be able to see. Yeah, right in the box.
Okay, right here.
Stay in the box.
Okay. I've been start over. I became a Rotarian in 1980, just about 1980. It was for a Rotary Club in suburban Chicago. I was invited to join this club. I think it was established in the 1920s, and it was all men. It was very sophisticated and proper in an expensive restaurant. And I was informed at the last minute that I needed to give a classification talk, and that talk was supposed to last 20 minutes. And I was frightened. This whole idea, we had bankers, lawyers, all these people for a 29-year-old, which was the youngest person, in that Rotary Club. I had a blue shirt on. I was sweating. I thought I had the whole thing handled. I went to the library and bought or borrowed a video, and I was an insurance agent just starting, and I couldn't talk about insurance that much. I was just learning, so I got this video on safe driving. I thought that would be a community service thing from the library, and the reel-to-reel projector, and we're all set up, ready to go. That was a 10-minute video, or not a video, reel-to-reel thing. And I thought it was going to be 10 minutes, and then I could kind of work my way through the rest of it. Well, I hadn't looked at it first, and it was something that was done by the U.S. government about safe driving, and it was done in the 40s. I had no idea. I just knew it was 10 minutes. So we turned the thing on, and people started laughing. I was serious. And I didn't know what I would do, and then the tape broke. And I looked at my watch, and I was panicked. I didn't know what to say. And that Rotary Club was so good. All these, high-flying people that I thought, and they turned it into a Q&A thing. And they asked me really easy questions, like, were you in the Little League? Yeah, I worked for the I played for the Bank of Homewood and all that. So I kind of connected with the group, and the 20 minutes actually went fast. I'm a lot more prepared with you guys. So I wrote this down, and it's not a classification. It's designed to be about 3 minutes, and I've probably gone over it already. Okay, my past.
You're getting Rotary 5 minutes.
Should I be looking here? Okay, they don't care.
Don't say that out loud.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Bob Crothers is on. He cares.
Oh, Bob cares. Hi, Bob. My past. I was born and raised in the Chicago area, and I had wonderful parents. I had 5 siblings. Church and Sunday school were mandatory, so we did that all the time. I was an average student. I joined Boy Scouts, the church youth group, and Little League. I love sports, especially baseball, and really got hooked on the Chicago White Sox. I eventually received a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Administration. I served in the U.S. Naval Reserves during Vietnam. Fortunately, I wasn't involved in a combative thing. I had sea duty, or excuse me, shore duty in the Bay Area, which was really very nice. And when I got out of the Navy, I started my insurance career, and that was for 46 years. I worked as an insurance agent. Mostly I had owned 3 agencies during that time in Illinois and in Colorado. And I got hooked on community service. You know, during that time in my life, I really didn't want to join anything. And, you know, I had enough to do. And I wound up joining the JCs. And then into the Rotary Club. I got involved with church organizations again, and then community service things. And I came up at that time, well, my biggest disappointment in my life probably is the fact that I've been married twice and divorced, no children. During that time, I did a lot of self-development, and I really developed an appreciation for three things. One is the golden rule, which we all know what that is. The other one is the 4-way test, and we know that. And the other is the JC Creed. And the JC Creed is, those people are still around, and you probably don't know the JC Creed, so I'll read it to you. It's short, and I really like this. JC Creed: we believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life. Boy, my leg is shaking. Okay,
We're not
starting over. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations, that economic justice can best be won by free men through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men, that Earth's great treasure lies in the human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life. So those are sort of my abiding benchmarks that I try to do it. Currently, I'm retired. I retired just before COVID, and I had this idea that I wanted to do some traveling. I got one road trip in. I even bought a all-wheel drive car, Subaru, to get out on the road, but I haven't been able to do much of that, and my mom's needed me. My mom has Alzheimer's disease, and she's in assisted living in Beaumont. And we get her out for a walk every day that she's able to, and she seems happy, but she's sad seeing her go down. Ann Feist, I got to tell you, was really helpful for me in getting, her in the right place. And I converse with her like other Rotary people on occasion, and they're always very helpful. I also took a volunteer job with Moe's Bagels. The owner came up one day and said, look, we got a lot of day-old bagels. We'd like to get them out, and maybe to first responders, and just take them and the cream cheese and just find out wherever you want to do it. So I've been doing that since the beginning of COVID, and I intend to keep doing that. And I've got this following out there. They call me the bagel guy, which I kind of like it, sort of relaxed. And it's been a good period. It's been a good thing for me. And then I see our friend Norris Herbsmeyer quite often. He's saying, you ought to get back into Rotary. Well, I'm a member, but I don't go. No, you need to go and maybe come up with a project or two. So I followed his lead and I'm doing that as well. As I look into the future, I really do want to get back to some traveling and with the road trips and that, and maybe find a part-time job or something, volunteer that has some kind of worthwhile purpose, maybe helping seniors or kids or, that kind of thing. And so I'd like to also do something kind of wild and crazy, and I'm not sure what that's going to be. So I'm working on a bucket list right now, and that just about covers my time and the comments that I have. So
Thank you so
very
much, John. Well, that was really wonderful, John. Thank you. Appreciate you sharing all about this. So we have some guests today. So if anyone wants to introduce their guests, I think we've got quite a few. So
I'll introduce Debbie Haseman, and she's the recipient. One of the two recipients of our literacy award. So she's come to get the award this morning.
We have Steve Doken from this District 6000, Governor 2000-2001 in Iowa. Thank you. And you brought a guest, please.
My name's Steve Peterson. Steve's my brother-in-law, and he's visiting, and I live in the Gun Barrel area.
wonderful.
Hey,
Well, good to have you.
Thank you very much for coming by.
You're in our area, so
Yep.
this is very cool. Well, that's a lot. Do we have any guests online at this point? And I think it's just Pete. So welcome back, Pete. Are we good? Well, I did want to move forward to our awards for literacy awards. So Debbie, if you'd like to come up real quick. And Dennis, I don't know if you want to come up and say a word real quick about the nomination. No? He's giving you the nominee. Oh my goodness. Well, Debbie, we wanted to thank you so much for all the hard work you do in literacy. Debbie got this award as an independent educator for helping both youth students, adults, professionals, and it's not typical that we have people get the literacy award for being just an independent educator. It happens, but it's definitely not always the way that we see the nominations come in. So congratulations. We very much appreciate everything you do in our community. We wanted to give you this check for $500 towards your efforts.
Oh, take it out.
Yeah. We don't have the big check, unfortunately. All right. And as a way to remember us, we've got a little paperweight, but it's the whole world. So, you're making an impact to everyone. So thank you so much. We very much appreciate you coming, and thank you for joining us today. You want to tell us, I was going to say, do you want to tell us a little bit about, your education, like education literacy work that you do?
Sure. Well, just thank you so much to all of you and to Dennis for nominating me. I just want to say I appreciate that an organization like you all recognizes how important literacy is in our community, and that means a lot to me personally. This means a lot to me personally too, so thank you for recognizing that in my career. I'm a retired teacher now from Boulder Valley Schools, and my whole career was focused on literacy. I was a literacy teacher, classroom teacher. I was a literacy coach, which means I worked with adults, the other teachers. I was a mentor to new teachers. And so everything that I did in education, the thread of literacy ran through that. And that is the foundation of education for everybody. So I appreciate it. Today, as a retired person, I'm volunteering as well. So
Where do you volunteer?
Keep it going. Well, I work a lot with my church. That's how I know Dennis. And I am the social justice committee chair there. So we do a lot of work outreach into the community. And I work with a group in Colorado called Together Colorado, which is an interfaith group focused on social justice. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, it's great to have you here, and we do hope that you join us again. One of the 7 tenets of Rotary is literacy, so it's one of the things that we do a lot of work in globally, and there's global grant projects that we do that can be matched funding, so if you raise money in the community, that money can be doubled or tripled depending on the program worldwide. So I work on one literacy program in Ukraine right now. And so we're getting USAID and Rotary Foundation funding to triple that money. So very cool. All right. Well, with that said, very much appreciate you coming. We're going to move on to some announcements real quick. So for Joe here, community service updates, Habitat is close pending this weekend. So Joe, where are we at? We have.
Honestly, I don't know the total number, but if you haven't registered, you can still go online with the instructions for the Habitat. The address is 3285 Palo Parkway, Friday morning, 8 to noon.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'll be there. I think we've got probably close to 9 people now, right? Yeah, so if anyone else is interested, please hop on the Habitat website here for Boulder Valley or Boulder Flatiron and sign up. Then also Isabel Road cleanup on the 25th. I know that's a
That'll
busy
be
weekend.
Saturday morning. Per usual, we'll meet at 8 o'clock in the parking lot at the Grange on the corner of 95th and Isabel. You'll get a coffee and donuts and a quick briefing and then a safety vest, and we'll walk the stretch of Isabel and kind of clean up the roadside.
Wonderful. How long do we generally work out there just for people who?
Hour and a half and we're done. I mean, it's really a nice morning, quick walk. We cleaned that stretch of road several times, so there's usually not very much to pick up.
It's been closed, so I'm sure.
Well, it's been closed, but the construction project is finished sort of at the corner of 287 and Isabella. We'll do our thing Saturday morning.
Awesome. And that's a very Rotary weekend. So there's a lot of events going on. As you can see here, the Woohoo Mini bike event that is handled for the whole district, as well as the Denver Century. That's happening on the 25th. So Rotary is, I think last year they raised over $70,000 in that event. So I'll be volunteering at that event this year for our club. If anyone else is able to volunteer for that, let me know just so I can coordinate with you. Otherwise, we'll be at Isabel Road. And then the following day is the Rockies game for Polio Plus. And that's against the Giants. So whether you like the Giants or don't like them, or you like the Rockies or don't like them, the money goes towards Polio Plus. And I think we're pretty close to being able to throw out the first pitch. I think you have to get a certain number of people to come to the game before the district governor can throw out that first pitch. Pretty close. So if you want to see that, that could be really funny. But and then otherwise, just a reminder about Houston. So if y'all are interested in going, that'll be one of the more affordable trips for us. It'll be excruciatingly hot and humid, but hey, we'll be inside most of the time. So let me know if you guys are signing up. We move on to the fun part. We do Happy Bucks now. This is the time for those who are not familiar with our club where people throw $1, a couple dollars towards club, but then they get to say something for the good of the order or announcements. And I think that someone we all want to hear from right now is Lou to hear updates on his son and how everything's going.
Well, I wish I had good news, but they put him in ICU yesterday. The kidney is working limitedly. He's got 24 pounds of liquid in his body that they're now cleaning off slowly. They told me that the kidney is not being rejected, but that it's overwhelmed by so much drugs and stuff they've been putting through him for the kidney transplant. So bottom line is we got to wait and see what happens with this getting the liquid off. He is totally a zombie. Can't put two words together to make a sentence. And very fidgety. Luckily, I got to go up and see him yesterday for a little bit. And we got a long road ahead of us, well, I can tell you. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. God knows when that is going to happen. Kidney may wake up one day and say, okay, it's time to go to work, or it could be a month from now. So it's very stressful, but like I said, we'll get through it. There you go.
Thank you, Lou.
Right on.
All right, Bob.
On my way to Breckenridge this weekend to celebrate my wife's birthday.
Wonderful. Awesome.
I got a happy five because our indoor cats got out. One cat came right back and then the other one came back like 2 days later.
When you have that litter of kittens, let us know.
Well, I love Rotary. I've been here a long time. I was president when the Supreme Court handed down the decision, and I really, it wasn't seen. I really, and Boone Rotary Club is half women, so we're 50%. And it's just a great experience for all of us. But, well, yeah, past district governor, one of the things I'm proudest of though is my newest title, a grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what I love about Rotary. Here's Lou, and from Marshalltown. It was in my district. And in fact, a person that goes know well is going to be district governor. He's district governor nominee. So we have a great chain in District 6000. You can see him rolling into Ryla. And during my year, I did number 5. Is it fun? I did that my year. Every Monday morning, I sent out a little joke to get the week started for everybody. Like if you stand on a toilet, you're high on pot. Just everybody got the joy. So, thank you for this opportunity.
First of all, a prayer for your son. I would also like to say I have just been given the most incredible, and it's anonymous, so I can't tell who gave it and what. But baby blankets and hats for small children and for adults, and they are going to go to Salvation Army, blankets and hats, baby hats for them. And then I do a lot with the VFW, and the big hats are going to go for our troops. I cannot tell you, this club is amazing. And I'm just so grateful for that. So anyway, I'm going to share that anonymous donation.
It's definitely thinking of Lou and good wishes and prayers for your son. And then my daughter's a freshman at CU, and she double locks her bike with a U-shaped bike lock and a big cable lock. Somebody came and cut the cable lock, so luckily she had that other lock on there. So it's, they're just swiping bikes.
Crazy drivers.
Just want to report one of the persons at Fraser who follows the COVID stuff very closely. Dr. Kirk Eshelman is his name, and he thinks that we're at the peak of the Delta, and he expects that it'll be basically over, that this spike will be over by the end of October. I find that very good news.
I'm just happy to be here, and I do have my third Moderna special for
Got my son off to college, and so that's good.
Awesome.
I'm just happy.
I just got back from San Francisco. I got to go see my nephew this last weekend, which is really great, and my wife's mother and grandparents, which is also really great. But Lexi's still gone. She's in Chicago this week, so
Oh dear.
yeah.
Someday we'll meet her.
I would only wish. I mean, she's been gone for the last 3 weeks traveling, and who knows? She'll be back someday. Well, with that said, thank you for Happy Bucks. It was really wonderful. And our guest speaker today, unfortunately, had a medical issue come up and was unable to attend. So we do have a video, but I do want to put it out there because we are Rotarians. If anyone would like to do an extemporaneous speech on the spot, absolutely welcome. Take the mic, come up and tell us all about it.
Never heard the story, you never give a mic to pass this government. Well, I'll tell you a joke about that. You know how an old shoe and a pastor's governor are alike? The tongues never wear out.
That's a good one. We'll have to remind our government of that. Yeah. Well, with that said, today I haven't seen the other hands, so I'm guessing no one else has any burning desire to tell us something.
Hey, Jay.
I have Mark Johnson, a video from the Boulder Rotary Club presenting about the Voice of the Buffs. So if that's of interest to folks, I'll be able to put that on. Otherwise, obviously this is something that's on YouTube. You're able to watch it on your own time. So feel free to leave, or we could socialize. So we'll take a hand, raise a hand if you would rather watch the video.
Oh, no.
I got 2 hands, socialize,
Social. I just have a question.
5 hands.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Since Bob is here, can you talk a little bit about the beach sale?
Terry would have the final numbers because.
No, numbers don't. make it.
Yeah, just about the sale.
I mean, I don't know, you guys tell me, did you have any complaints about the beaches this year?
They were great.
All I've heard is how good they were. And so I remind people that when I come around with my emails next year, don't give me any guff, order more. We sold 1,000 classes. We could have sold more. There were people saying, my goodness, the peach is still available a month later. They were probably as good as I can remember them ever being. CNR did a great job of getting them here for, not only for Littleton and Niwot the week before, but for us. They were here on time. They got them offloaded quickly, and we were off and away. We struggled a little bit with the interaction with Meals on Wheels, and we'll get that fixed for next year. But in general, everything went pretty well, unless anybody knows otherwise. We've had a few people a month later say, I didn't get my peaches, are they still available? So there were a few people that forgot to come and pick up their peaches, not too many. Jam, we didn't sell, I don't think, quite as much as we did last year. But boy, if you've never tried it, you really need to. The jam is really, really good. And the advertisements, I'm on their email list, and I get emails all the time. They're coming up with all sorts of new flavors. You probably see that because you're.
Well, I'm right in the thick of it.
So things were good. I think money-wise, I don't know what the final numbers will be. I think they'll probably be similar to what they were last year. But we'll have money to give away next year.
How did the truck get here? Did they talk about that?
Steamboat.
They went through Steamboat. Oh, wow.
That's how most of the truck traffic went. Unfortunately, I had a couple of friends that were in Steamboat and said, oh my goodness, there's so many trucks
Yeah.
come through that way.
It goes right through the look.
Yeah. So yeah, it took them 7.5 hours. Normally takes 4 hours, took them 7.5 hours.
And for our guests, they come from Palisades, so we sell Palisade peaches unless they lose their crop, in which we sell Paonia peaches. But they're pretty phenomenal because they're tree ripened. And you see, like anything you're buying in the stores, if you're not from here, they're generally box ripened. They don't taste the same, or they're not the same peach. Yeah.
They were great this year.
Yeah.
So everything was good, and we'll be rolling sometime next year to do the same thing.
I've still got 12 pounds. I'm willing to sell them for about $100 a case.
Hey, I've been holding some out because my daughter's coming next week. I know I make her a beach pie.
Oh.
There was somebody selling Palisade peaches on the corner of 75th and Arapahoe, and it was about the same size of box, and it was $30. So our price point was really, really good. And I don't know if people realize that, the quality and the price were both phenomenal. I froze them and I put them in my smoothie every morning. So I've got a couple weeks left, and then can't wait for next year.
Munson's was selling CNR peaches, $4.50 a pound.
Same with the farmers markets as well.
Those would equate to $45.
Oh, yeah.
And they weren't as big, and they didn't look as good.
Yeah, the ones at Ideal, which is like same as Ideal here, but they've been selling for even more, and they're not tree ripened. So yeah, it's crazy. We've definitely got the best value in the fresh tree ripened peach at Boulder.
Will we ever go back to selling citrus? Do Or is that?
Yeah.
I mean, we had a pretty bad experience
Yeah,
getting it
you know, it
from
was a-
Texas, and the place that we had gotten it from in Florida that were good went out of business.
Yeah.
They almost completely lost their orchards. Back when
Oh, that was several years ago.
So, you know, I guess it's up to everybody. We'd have to search out a place and take a risk that, you know, everything was as good as the experience we had with oranges.
I miss those grapefruit every year.
Well, we appreciate all the hard work. We know that it's a big lift and it's all concentrated in a pretty close period of time. So we appreciate all the hard work you do.
These guys worked their butts off on the weekend
You got your delegates.
to do their thing and sell a couple of hundred extra boxes. So.
Yeah. Well, having 3 different locations this year, I think, was definitely helpful. We get a lot more exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a meeting soon, probably, to talk to the people at Meals on Wheels, smooth their feathers out a little bit, and then figure out the game plan for next year. As far as if there were some hiccups with the credit card, there was hiccups with people thinking we need to remind them about when fees is gonna be here.
Which we can do. It's just,
Well, that's just little things like that. I mean, people a month later call on, want to know where their peaches are. One guy wanted to know why he had it delivered. So, sir, we got 1,000 cases. Where did we start? And they're just little bumps in the road that gets frustrating.
I think you just remind them all that, one, you're an adult, you placed the order. Just come pick it up. 2, it's a fundraiser, so that you can tell.
I think
Thank
there
you very
probably needs to be more disclaimers, or maybe, I didn't look at the website, but.
it says very clearly pick up only in bold
Yeah.
and like giant letters.
Yeah,
You
but-
have to click the box and yes, I accept that picking it up.
But we're selling a lot more, which is great,
Yeah.
but in the past, it's always been member sales. So, you know, I sold, you sold, Jason sold,
Yeah.
whatever, and so then you were responsible for your own customers. Now with opening it up to the World Wide Web, you just have to be more cautious. So I think that, you know, having a game plan in place for those people, because I assume that that's was the problem.
We only have one person I saw that put it in their thing saying, can you please deliver it to me? I live in Boulder. And I was like, no, that's what it says very clearly here, curbside pickup, but yeah. I don't know, you had more than one person want to pick up or want it delivered? Or was it more reflective like, oh, I
It's more
can't go?
reflective of people going, I didn't get reminded about my peaches,
Yeah.
so I just got one this morning.
Yeah, but it's something we can do. It's very easy. It's built into the website for those people. For the people that sell their own from Rotarians, that's on them.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that information. That's not up to Bob or Lou or anyone else. It's you and your connection. The website, we can do a mail blast, one click and do that.
Well,
That's,
that's something we probably look at for next year.
yeah, it's built in.
We'll have a
Yeah.
couple beer meeting and we'll come up with great ideas for next year.
Well, I think that we were hoping maybe we could do that during the club assembly next month if you want to. That way you have the captive
You can drink
audience.
beer at the club assembly, is that what you said?
Morning beers for everyone. Yeah. But if you want, we can do that because it'll be a captive audience. You'll get people in one place. You have them at the normal regular time, and you can. If you want to do that, we'll do that. I think that's a good use of club assembly time.
Either that or we probably have a 5th Wednesday coming up.
I was gonna talk to you about that.
Yeah, but we just get less people at the 5th Wednesdays than we do if we do club assembly. So I think that I'd rather you have all the people you can get to come, and that way we can start to delegate now. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And I think making the transition, I think that numbers, obviously, we all hear it, but knowing that it's no longer just a member supported event, but it is on the World Wide Web, because I think that that's sometimes not really communicated well. We don't understand it.
as much. Having a website has always been a convenience for our customers, but now we're actually marketing to people out there that are not affiliated with the club in any way.
Yeah, I don't know that we got a lot of traffic from that.
But
I don't know that we
it
did.
builds, you know, you
It'd be
start
nice,
small
yeah.
and things get bigger, and especially because the peaches were so good, I think the word of mouth is going to increase that.
Yeah.
And so having a plan in place to
Yeah.
accommodate.
I mean, we could, and honestly, as much as it sounds like a hassle, I don't think it is much of a hassle if we wanted to hire out that shipping element to someone like Goldbelly. And people can pay $50 for their case to be shipped to them. You know, if they lived in Colorado, we know them, and they moved off to California or Port Angeles, Washington, and they want a case, they can pay the extra money to have it shipped, and we don't have to handle that. That could be those people, we can have that company come when the cases are delivered in the morning and come pick up their section of them and walk away. And it's not on us at that point. Like, you know, that shipping company will do it themselves. We can do that. I don't know that it'll grow our sales much,
No,
but
but having the option.
if we want to do that, we say, hey, you want shipping, it's $50 a case, you know, but it's not on us. We're not doing it ourselves. That's just outsourced to a third party. If you really want that, but they just come and pick them up. Joe does not like this idea, but I do know, like, we order stuff from New Orleans all the time. You know, we're ordering like arcane cakes and stuff. You know, you got to get Randazzo's. I mean, maybe Rusty has a different opinion here, but you know, and from Wisconsin, we have our pies shipped in from Wisconsin through Goldbelly, and you can have a lobster roll shipped in from Boston if that's what you want, and they'll take care of it all for you. So, yeah, so I mean, that's an option there. It's definitely one extra element, but if we just have the order information itemized on the website to send it right over, it wouldn't be too bad. Anyhow, well, I think this would be a good club assembly topic. We've got a lot of ideas on the table, and that means people have to be delegated to do the work. So it's a good time to start getting on that so we can be done well in advance and a lot less stress at the end of it. Well, with that said, do people want to continue socializing, or do you want to see the video of Mark Johnson here? We could put that on, something that Bill thought that we would all really enjoy. He watched it and said that it was really great. He's our program for our guests.
Oh, yes.
He said 30 minutes, but I mean, it's socialize. All right, cool. All right, well, for everyone online, the club has asked if we could socialize. Bye, Beth. If you guys want, I can turn the volume way up so people can hear you. No, everyone's leaving. All right. Well, bye, Bob. Bye, Angie. Y'all have a wonderful day. All right. Well, I'll end the meeting early. We'll go for a full adjourn here. And it's, as always, if it's Wednesday, it's Rotary. So thank y'all for coming.
Did you ever get hold of that blue guy?
I'm not checking. I was
Bye. Bye.
But he's still in math literacy. I talk to him all the time about a sibling issue or. International you know, you can, anybody can carry that.
That's right. I'm gonna get together with.
Oh, is it?